This is Horror Podcast.
Welcome to This is Horror, a podcast for readers, writers, and creators. I'm Michael David Wilson, and every episode alongside my co-host Bob Pastorella, we chat with the world's best writers about writing, life lessons, creativity, and much more. Today on This is Horror, we are reconvening with Max Booth III for the second and final part of our conversation. Max is the author of a number of books, including their most recent book, I Believe in Mr. Bones, the short story collection Abnormal Statistics, the wonderful novel Carnivorous Lunar Activities, We Need to Do Something, The Nightly Disease, Touch the Night, Maggots Screaming, and many, many more books and stories. Max runs the Ghoulish Books publishing house, the Ghoulish Bookstore, and Ghoulish Book Festival, alongside their wife, Laurie Michelle. And I also understand that soon they will be bringing back the Ghoulish podcast, which last time they did it, that was solo, not with Laurie Michelle, in fact, but still very good. So this is part 2 with Max Booth, but before we get into it, a quick advert break.
It was as if the video had unzipped my skin, slunk inside my tapered flesh, and become one with me.
From the creator of This is Horror comes a new nightmare for the digital age, The Girl in the Video by Michael David Wilson. After a teacher receives a weirdly arousing video, his life descends into paranoia and obsession. More videos follow, each containing information no stranger could possibly know. But who's sending them, and what do they want? The answers may destroy everything and everyone he loves. The Girl in the Video is The Ring meets Fatal Attraction for the iPhone generation. Available now in paperback, ebook, and audio. From the host of This is Horror Podcast comes a dark thriller of obsession, paranoia, and voyeurism. After relocating to a small coastal town, Brian discovers a hole that gazes into his neighbor's bedroom. Every night she dances and he peeps. Same song, same time, same wild and mesmerizing dance. But soon Brian suspects he's not the only one watching, and she's not the only one being watched. They're watching is The Wicker Man meets Body Double with a splash of Suspiria. They're Watching by Michael David Wilson and Bob Pastorella is available from thisishorror.co.uk, Amazon, and wherever good books are sold.
Okay, with that said, here it is. It is Max Booth III on This is Horror. So let's talk about what you're doing in terms of promotion for both your latest book, I Believe in Mr. Bones, and then what you do generally when promoting ghoulish titles.
I mean, I have a lot riding on this episode, to be honest, as far as promotion goes for my book. This is pretty much it, man. I don't know. I suck at promoting my own books, I think. I don't know what... Anytime I promote my own stuff, it feels like just like this immense guilty sensation that gnaws at my gut, knowing I could be spending that time promoting ghoulish stuff. That's also why I don't seem to write as much as I want to, because anytime I'm spending time writing my own fiction, I can't focus on it, because all I could think of is I have so many ghoulish books that need to be edited right now, and I am actively not spending that time milking on them as authors wait on me to finish them. Instead, I am selfishly writing my own stuff. It's a really odd balance. And Michael, I mean, you've published books by other people. I'm sure you can relate. I've talked to other friends who are on similar things. You just had on a local friend of mine, LP Hernandez, he just launched his own press. He was at the shop today, and we were talking about this Philly thing. How there's just like it's an odd balance of like not neglecting all these other people waiting on you to do things.
Do you think that you might look at kind of moving away from your role as a Ghoulish publisher to concentrate more on your own fiction?
Oh no, I'm too stubborn. I think I'm just gonna keep doing it just like this until I die. I mean, I'm not even joking. I think this is just the way it's gonna be always. Yeah.
No, that's why I stepped away from the This Is Horror publishing stuff, because I wanted to concentrate more on my own fiction. So at least if I wasn't publishing other people, there's not that kind of guilt.
Yeah.
I think too, as well, like because there were presses like Ghoulish and like Tenebrous and, you know, really good indie outfits, that I felt that when I started This Is Horror, there wasn't as much. And it's like, well, there wasn't really a demand anymore for there to be another novella indie publisher. It's not like, oh, Michael, if you go, where will we send that novella? Well, a lot of other places.
Yeah. And back then, like back in those early days, I feel like there was a shit ton of presses, but not really good presses. And we do have a lot more high quality presses now, I think, which is good. I do often I think about like how much more prolific I would be if I wasn't running a publishing company with my own writing. Because I never do feel like I'm prolific, but then I think about like how I have usually a book out every year, if not every other year, and that's pretty prolific. But I know I could be so much more. It's not like I have writer's block or anything. I'm bursting with new book ideas. In fact, I had this one, I'm not going to get into it, but I had a book idea a couple days ago, and it's so exciting to me. I think it could be like a really big book idea, like an epic apocalypse type of thing, that I'm so excited to begin writing. It's not going to happen for a while because I have to finish the one I'm doing now because my agent is waiting on it. And this new book idea requires, I think, a lot of research and outlining. So I'm going to keep it in my brain and noodle around with it as I do other things, but not going to begin writing it for a while, I don't think. But if I wasn't running the publishing company, I could definitely spend more time. I would be done with the other thing already, and I would have more time to focus on this. Not the case, but that's okay because I do like, I think, publishing. I don't know if I do, but I do it anyway out of some odd obligation that I've assigned myself. I like publishing. I don't like disappointing people. I overcommit easily because I get really excited about ideas and about helping people. But I'm also easily dismayed when things don't go right, and I get really bummed out when things don't sell. Even though, like, we might do the same things we do with a book that does sell well, and then it just doesn't work out the same with every other book. It's odd. And, like, so much of this shit, it's just determined by luck. Like, the luck of, oh, if this box company takes on one of these books, this book will immediately make back a profit and everyone will be thrilled with this new audience. I mean, a lot of that isn't even up to us. We can send like the emails out to the box companies and be like, hey, please consider this book as one of your monthly things, but one only happens once in a while, which is understandable because like all these companies, they have a huge selection. Or like you can hope that someone like on TikTok features one of the books in a review and it goes viral. You could send the books to them. They could record a video and it's still just nothing but luck that the algorithm is going to be in your favor. And it's stuff like that that really just makes you like not excited about publishing whatsoever. Yeah, I think that answers the question. I have been talking a while and I don't remember what the prompt was at this point.
Well, I mean, the initial question was about what you do in terms of promoting and marketing for both your books and for other books with Ghoulish. And I mean, I hear a lot about what you're saying about luck and chance coming into things because, I mean, for me, the girl in the video, which I put out with Ghoulish Books, that has been by far my most successful book in terms of like commercially and in terms of really getting out to readers. But I don't feel that like I did drastically less for the other two books, in terms of the promotion. But of course, the one thing missing was, it not being with Ghoulish, I suppose. I was going to say it wasn't with another publisher. Hang on, House of Bad Memories was Cemetery Gates Media, but
Yeah.
So it goes.
Well, so many things. I mean, it also depends on like when it came out. I mean, anything coming out since, not to get political, but anything that came out since Musk took over Twitter, I'm sure has seen less sales than it would have, because once upon a time, that fucking site was so good for sales. We did like an excellent Kickstarter campaign, and I've been so afraid to do another one since, because when we did it and we were successful, I think a large part of that came from Twitter. And now I don't think we would have even close to the same activity there than we did before. So there's so much against every book that comes out that is so beyond anyone's control. I mean, if a book comes out the same week as like, I don't know, the Capitol is stormed, no one's buying your book. No one's talking about your book. Any promo you do, it's going to get drowned out. I mean, there's so many things that we cannot control, and we'll just try and like just throwing these books out, hoping they get some type of audience. And it's difficult, almost impossible to know what the hell it is. I mean, I think it would be different if we were a huge company and we had a ton of money. We don't. So, I mean, we just have to try doing things that we can do. I mean, we get books out, we get the ALCs out, we try doing fun graphics. We have a bookshop. We do events at the bookshop. We do a fucking huge book festival in San Antonio that gets a lot of traffic, and we have these books front and center to promote. I mean, that helps a lot. We have all types of like books Ghoulish has published displays in the bookshop. So when people come in, they know that we're more than just a bookshop. We're also a publishing company, and these are the books we've published. And like, it's like the most fucking front and center display you can hope for, I think, when it comes to a bookshop. And other bookshops stock us. We'll not just an Amazon press. We'll print on demand, but we go through Ingram, we go through Lightning Seals. So like the books are available for bookshops to stock. We do a good discount. We do returnability. So if they don't sell, they can return it to us. That's okay. I wish they wouldn't, but we allow it because that's what makes bookshops stock us. We do podcasts. I haven't been as good with updating the podcasts, but at one point I was doing like fucking 3 different podcasts, mostly for the point of promoting the books we publish. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I recall, Michael, with the book we did, we had that fun thing we did with reviewers where we well, I spent a night just like taking photos of various Bookstagram accounts, it's like the home pages, and then printing them out into Polaroids and just mailing them to them. I don't know if that actually helped with sales at all, but I've never felt more like a creep in my life.
A lot of people kind of commented on it being a cool little feature.
Okay.
So I
That's
mean,
good.
I definitely don't think it detracted from sales, let's say
That's
that.
good.
But yeah, with the girl in the video, just a lot of things seem to come together at the right time. But it's interesting, and this has happened to a number of people because I'm now in this position where my debut book has been far and away the most successful, and I would like another book soon to at least match that, because it's a weird feeling to
Yeah.
like, I don't want to peak with my first book. That's not a good thing.
Right. I mean,
But you
yeah.
never know which book's going to be it, though. You may feel that first book was your peak, but
I mean, I hope it wasn't. It is at the moment. I'm just saying I hope
no,
that.
you may feel that now, but 2 or 3 years down the road, you may have something come out, and you're gonna go, oh wow, okay. I always think look for the future, because you don't know, like what we're talking about. Prime example, I got a book coming out in June. The whole fucking world could end, but my book's still coming out. So,
I mean, not if it ends.
That's true.
well, yeah, exactly. But if it doesn't end, then I'm just saying, I'm using that as an example. The thing that you have to do is that no matter what the circumstances, you still have a job to do. You still have to promote your book, and you have to kind of, like, with the shape the world's in right now, I'll be damned if someone's going to stop me from promoting my own book. Let's put it to you like that. And that's the attitude that you need to have. This is what I have to do, and I'm not going to apologize for it. And matter of fact, I'm going to be insufferable about it. So that's just me.
It really is unexpected. I mean, like, I thought my novel Touch the Night would be like my big breakthrough, and it didn't really get read that much at all. But then a book that I kind of just threw out randomly, for no reason, my novella We Need to Do Something, came out a few months before Touch the Night, and that is my biggest selling book to date. I mean, it became a movie. I don't think it's my best book. I think it's okay. I'm super grateful that it picked up an audience. Never once expected that to happen. Even before the movie thing happened, it was fucking selling like crazy, and I don't know why. I threw it out. We published it on a Saturday night. I never even mentioned the book existed until it was out that night, and somehow it just took off. So I don't understand how anything looks publishing. It doesn't make any sense to me. I just think the one thing that I do know is if you have a clear premise and you could pitch it to somebody in like half a sentence, you can probably sell it pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the more that I've been considering marketing and promotion recently, the more I just think the only thing I can do, or a good use of my time, is to just write the next book. I'm just convinced, just,
Yeah.
keep putting out books, write the next book. Like, obviously, I'll do a bit of promotion. I'll go on other podcasts. I'll mention it. I'll, send stuff out to reviewers. But beyond that, just keep writing. That's all you can do. And I mean, with my next book, Daddy's Boy, which you've both read, I feel that this could either absolutely tank because people are like, what the fuck is this? Or it could tap into something. It could tap into some weird niche market and then be my best book. And I don't know. I feel it might go one of those two ways.
Yep. So those are
Do
the only
you
two
need?
options.
Well, no, there's a third option where it gets middling sales. But
Nah,
No,
it's not going to
I don't
happen.
think. I don't think it's going to be
Okay.
middling. You want it to be polarizing.
Okay.
It's definitely not going to be middling. No, the people are going to have strong feelings about Daddy's Boy. I promise you. And that sounded way bad, but yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
It's so funny, I think, and also frustrating and depressing, like how the way we talk about these books, like how we basically On title, like emotional real estate depends on if we can convince people just to read what the fuck we wrote. Meanwhile, you see like huge authors, they don't have to fucking do anything basically at this point. It's like, do you understand how good you have it? You don't. I don't think you do anymore. John Grisham, you bitch. I don't know. It's just what came to mind.
Dan Brown, the secret of all secrets. Really? You titled your book that? Really, Dan?
It's like, we don't want.
Why don't we just
What the
dissing
fuck?
really successful?
But I mean, it's like, dude,
point?
if I would have pitched something like that to Max, he'd have been like, "Hey, dude, that title's got to fucking go."
I don't know about this book.
So the guy who wrote
Da
the Da
Vinci
Vinci
Code.
Code, yeah, his new book is titled "The Secret of All Secrets."
What is it? I want to read it. I want to find out.
But
It's
it's
a
the
great title for Max then.
I'm sold.
I seen that. I'm like, come on, that's the most generic fucking shit I've ever read, title wise, in my entire life. The title of all titles.
But like, you know, like people sometimes, I think they mistakenly think like the dream is that writers have is like to be so famous, you know, to be like a recognizable name, to have all these movies made and so on. Those are all like symptoms of the dream. The dream is just to have an audience, right? It's just to have people that you know are going to read the book when it comes out, and you don't have to like keep yourself up at night wondering what you've done wrong that no one read the book. That's all we want, is for people to read the book. We spend all this time, I mean, so much time that anyone listening who doesn't write, there's no possible way they can comprehend how much time we all just spend trying to make a book good, and then it comes out and like maybe no one reads it, and that's really sad.
And it's also very full of anxiety.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, why am I doing this? Am I wasting my time? Should I mean, these are questions you sometimes ask, but like, it's not the answer is it's not about that. It's not like you write because you want to. You write because you don't know what else to do.
Right.
I mean, it's what you do. It's what you wake up, and it's what you've like all three of us, I assume. It's always what we've wanted to do. I mean, for whatever reason, something in our DNA was designed a specific way, that the only way to get that specific chemical reaction in our brains is when we're fucking creating prose. And that's the whole thing. Other people, they get that playing basketball. They get that slashing the throats of the homeless. Anyone has like a thing, they'll think it's writing fiction.
Yeah. I mean, I nearly had a breakdown the other week because I had this kind of crisis of identity, and I was like, I've basically staked so much of my life and my career on writing. It's like, I've always taken jobs that would facilitate me being able to write more. That's what it's all kind of about. And I was like, are the sales really here? Am I really fulfilling this? Have I wasted my potential? Should I have done something else? But yeah, I kind of had to take a step back and have a word with myself, really. It's like, well, you're enjoying writing.
Yeah.
And like, why is it that, my brain has got it that it would be a more valid book if more people had read it or more people had bought it? It's still the same fucking book, but there's something, I guess it's the media, it's this message that we're given that we're told if it sells more copies, it's a better book. It's the same fucking book.
I desperately wish I could tap into whatever magic stuff was happening to me when I was a teenager, or even younger than that. I would just write nonstop all the time. I had no desire to show it to anybody. I was just having fun coming up with crazy shit in a notebook. Like, how do I get that again? Well, I'm not dependent on, oh man, I hope fucking I can sell this when I'm done with it so I can feed my family. That would be a great thing to tap back into. And like talking about this, it also reminds me of what I was talking about previously with running Ghoulish and like if I enjoy it or not. One of the big reasons why I continue doing it, it's just I've been with different presses before with my own books. And a lot of the times it's been really disappointing and for various reasons, some reasons I can't even talk about now due to NDAs I've signed. But there's like something in me that insists on trying to maintain at least an if not a great press, an ethical press, one where someone's not going to feel like cheated at. They might feel disappointed the book didn't do great, but hopefully they don't leave the publishing, they don't leave Ghoulish thinking, wow, I got fucking scammed and I can't trust anybody. Because I think that is not as common as people may think. It's an industry of disappointment and scams, I find. And I also just I'm addicted almost to like the feeling of giving someone a home for a book they wrote when they like that's not like an easy thing. It's like to be able to have the experience and the skill and like the equipment needed to read someone's book that they wrote, that they spent all this time writing, to read it, accept it, and give it a home, a place they can say, oh, my book is published and this is the fucking thing I wrote. Because so much of the stuff we publish is not stuff mainstream publishers are going to be interested in. We do a lot of fucking strange things. We have a lot of strange things coming out this year, and even next year we have some stuff that no mainstream press would ever touch that we haven't announced yet. And I think it's meaningful to like do that. It feels like a good service to do. It makes me feel good. Like the same way I felt good, like taking in that old dog. It's not quite the same thing, but like chemically, it's the same thing it's the same cauldron of like witch soup. They have similar flavors in my brain. And if you're not living a life, will you do things that make you feel good and you make others feel good by doing those things? What is the point? I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm appreciative for Ghoulish because, I mean, these days you're consistently publishing Danger Slater books, and Danger Slater is one of my favorite authors. But, like you say, if not Ghoulish, then who's gonna, not just publish, but publish with the enthusiasm and the excitement that you do?
It's so crazy to me with D'Angelo specifically, because I do view him as like the modern Vonnegut, basically. It's like,
yeah,
we don't live in a fucking time now where someone like Vonnegut can just come along and become the fucking sensation he is throughout the planet. We just don't have those opportunities now. The internet, maybe, I mean, it's just like everything branches out now, and there's all these different subcategories and subcommunities, and there's no like big open opportunities for writers that strange and funny and just fucking bizarre. And like that's what Danger Slater is. It's like people need to make these books available so people can read them and get that same fix that they got when they discovered Vonnegut for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a fucking tragedy that he hasn't been published by a major big publisher. This
Big
is
presses are afraid of calm, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, you were gonna say something, but maybe
Yeah, I mean, just describing Danger as the modern Vonnegut is it's apt, but I think that, like Michael was saying, that a big publisher he's definitely one that would probably benefit from a big publisher, but publishers, like Max said, they don't like to come. So
Yeah.
It is not just about the cum.
It's not just about the cub.
it's not.
There was a lot of cum in Starlet, but if you
There was.
read House of Rot, wasn't
No
that
cum?
much cum. I mean,
No,
there was
he's
probably
been-
a splash, but
He's been building up to it.
A spattle.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean just cum, but I mean, he writes the type of unafraid material and honest as well from someone who grew up in like bizarro roots that you just don't see mainstream people really give a shit about. At least in my experience. I'm sure someone listening is going to name like fucking a dozen books that came out through mainstream presses that could be compared to what he does, in which case, good job. You read more books than I do. I'm busy fucking running a press. Congratulations.
If they can, please write in, because like if there are mainstream
No,
publishers,
don't write in. I don't like being corrected.
just write to me, not to Max.
Yeah, don't CC me.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
being right. I don't want to be proven wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talking about the books that Ghoulish are putting out or have put out, I mean, what is, let's say, a novel, a novella, and a short story collection you put out last year that you want more people to check out?
I mean, there's a lot of books that we've published recently. I'm blanking on like if these all came out last year specifically, or the year before as well. But like recently, we did Haunted Heralds by Lucas Mangum. He's really prolific. He's also a close friend of mine. He lives in Austin. For those listening, I'm in San Antonio, so it's like a 60-minute drive. This book by Lucas is unlike anything he's written. He's usually he writes more extreme stuff, but this one is pretty light. And it's almost like an emo book, if like emo was a subgenre of the in Hurl. It's a coming of age emo ghost novella about these three kids, three like 19-year-olds. So it's not kids, but they do like a band. They have a band they do, and they look at a DIY haunted house attraction. And it's just really moody, and the vibes are so great. And I'm a huge fan of this book. And the front cover by Betty Rocksteady. Happy birthday, Betty! She's accepting commissions. It's really great. Also, a debut novella came out last year through us called Pocket Knife Kitty by Shannon Riley. Really gross book, really great book. It's kind of like a combo of It Follows meets Promising Young Woman. It's about like a STD type of curls. You fuck somebody and then you bring the curls on to someone else. It's called Pocket Knife Kitty because kitty is also a word people use for I don't want to get political, but vaginas. And that was a good one. That was my favorite of the political jokes. If I was ranking them, that would be the top one. My brain is a pinball machine, you guys.
This is going to be very confusing for people who have started listening to part 2 and not part 1, and they're like, what do you mean, political jokes?
You act like I began the first episode by announcing, by the way, I'm going to begin saying I don't want to be political. There was no disclaimer. Although I did think I was going to say that like yesterday, and I thought I had the idea of doing the political thing yesterday, and I just thought, yeah, that's going to be good. I was correct. It's going over well. But also, if anyone listening is into like westerns and like UFO shit, to check out The Flesh Inhalants. That's a novella by a new author named Pili Mistral. Apologies if I mispronounced his name. I have a speech impediment, but really great novella. He has such a great voice. And for this to be his debut book, it's crazy to me. It's basically it takes place in this old west town, and something falls from the sky, and a bunch of people begin going out to see what it is. And basically, it's something mysterious that makes you your true self. So the two main characters in the book, one is a trans man, one is just a gay man, a cis man, and they don't know each other, but they meet along the way, and there's great cowboy sex in it. But they're going out to like seek it to see if this is true, if it doesn't make you the true self. But then there's alien stuff going on. It's really great. He also has a short story in the last issue of Ghoulish Tales 3. Great short story. Great issue of the magazine. Probably the best issue so far is Ghoulish Tales 3. Love putting that magazine together. That's probably enough just listing promo, though. I don't know. Anyone listening to this is just going, skip.
Well, it occurs to me too, while you were saying that, and this isn't a new thought that I've only just realized, but that you put out a lot of debut authors, and there are a number of indie presses where they'll play it a little bit safer and more conservatively. They'll just put out almost like known quantities, but for you're really saying we're going story first. If it's a good fucking story, you'll put it out. And I almost wonder, from what you've said, if you want to find debut authors. So if you only had one kind of slot left, and it's this amazing debut, or it's this also very good book by the established author, if you'd want to put out the debut, because you're making that dream come true.
I mean, depends on the quality of the book. 100%. Yeah. I mean, the next issue of the magazine we have coming out, Ghoulish Tales issue 4, which comes out in the spring sometime. When we open for submissions for that one, we specifically only open to writers who had never been published before, because we wanted to give them that opportunity. We paid some of the best rates that you'll see in right now, which is 10 cents. We do that for every issue, 10 cents per word. We found 5 really good stories that we accepted. And I'm really excited to get that issue out in the next couple of months, probably next month, I guess, because we want it out in time for the fest. So somebody, namely Max Booth, needs to get that thing finalized. But we have other debut books coming out this year. We have the debut novella by Valentina Rojas coming out in March called A Feast of Putrid Delights. That's actually the only debut book we have this year. I was just looking at a list. But we have Bob's book, but he's not a debut author, so he's not as special. But we have Bob's book coming out in June, and it's really great. It's like fucking Fright Nights meets what did we say? Suicide Squad? No, Suicide King.
Suicide Kings, right?
Suicide Kings.
A movie many people know about. Suicide Kings.
If you've never seen Suicide Kings, you should watch it. It's one of Christopher Walken's best films.
It is
the
really
Small Hours is a novel, right?
It is.
Yeah, the Small Hours.
So,
is a novel.
you say that Bob's not a debut author, and technically no, but I think isn't this your debut solo novel?
It's my debut solo novel. Yes,
yeah,
it is.
I guess we should begin talking about and promoting it that way, huh? It didn't even occur to me that it was like a debut solo novel. That's a great point. I have 2 books contracted for 2026, both novels, both by debut authors, and both will just absolutely mind-blowing. We haven't announced them yet, but man, I'm so excited to get those out. And also everything else out we have plans. We have a new Nadia Bulkin collection coming out this year. One of my favorite short story writers. I am so pumped up that we got this book from her. Just absolutely thrilled. I mean, it's called Issues with Authority. It's 2 novellas and a novelette. The novelette was previously published before, and one of the novellas was previously published as a limited edition thing through Dim Shields Publishing. It sold out immediately, 150 copies sold out, so no one else can get it. I read a copy of it. She asked me to blurb it, and I read it, and I was like, Nadia, let me publish this one. I mean, it's so good. It's the novella specifically is called Red Skies in the Morning, and it's basically like, what if the curls from the ring was a thing that the government could control? It's fucking mind blowing. And then she just wrote a brand new. It was going to be a novelette, but it became a novella for the collection. And I haven't even read it yet. She just sent it to me last week, and I'm super excited to dig into it. Yeah, we also have Ryan Bradley's new novel coming out this year called Say Uncle, and you guys, I think, would love it. It's fucking Hellraiser meets Uncle Buck. It's so funny, and Ryan's a good pal of mine. He lives up in Austin as well, and we do events together. And I've read his other stuff. I took a look at this novel, best thing he's ever written in my opinion. It's so good, and I'm excited about all the stuff we have coming out. We have a new book by Jess Hagman coming out this year. She wrote a book called Head Cheese, which came out. It came out through a press a while back in like 2018 or something. That press went out of print. They went bankrupt or whatever. They're not out of press now. Loved Head Cheese. It's like, the way she writes is really transgressive in the way that like old school Chuck Palahniuk was, and still is. I don't know why I said was, but I guess because I haven't read him in a while is why I was speaking like in the past tense. But she's great. Also local to Austin. A lot of Texas authors this year. But she has a new book coming out called Metal Eating that I'm in the process of editing, and she is really much waiting for me to finish those edits. It's a big book. It's like almost 100,000 words long. It is it's basically the whole thing with Marie Antoinette. I think I said her name right, and all of that. She was decapitated, and so you guys know. But it's reimagined as a modern day sex cult in Austin, Texas. It's really insane and violent and graphic and just really cool. She's a great writer, and I'm just, man, these are all great books that we have coming out. A few reprints we have coming out as well from pals who lost the previous presses due to various reasons that I don't need to get into. It's going to be a good year for being ghoulish.
Yeah, what considerations do you have in terms of when to reprint something? Because I imagine that's a kind of harder sell, because people have bought the book once, the hardcore fans.
Yeah, so we have 3 reprints coming out. Wasn't planned, but they kind of just fell into my lap, and I just took them on. 2 of those will by a friend of mine called Lil Gislason. So we'll taking on the book Inside Out, and they have a collection called Sick Tales from the Goop Troop. Basically, they will, with a different press that had a bunch of controversy last year, and I just felt bad, so I just reached out and offered to take them on, along with a different book that they will contract to write, Cosmic Dyke Patrol, which is a great title. It wasn't previously published. It was previously contracted and announced, but I took that one over too, so I'll be publishing that one this year as well. But that would be considered an original since it didn't come out yet. And then the other reprint is a book called Bad Dogs by Nate Settled. I know Nate personally, and I think he's a really underrated author who's like just has not been discovered yet. He's fucking great, and Bad Dogs is my favorite book of his. It came out through Broken River a long time ago, and that whole press is kind of a shit show now, if you guys haven't noticed. It's not really a press now. It's just something else, is what I mean by that. But Bad Dogs is like a redneck magician in Indiana, fucking just mixed up in drug stuff and all types of demons and spells. Is really fucking good.
That's probably one way. I think I described it to someone is redneck John Constantine.
Yeah, so you've read it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's badass. Yeah. I'm looking forward to picking up the new edition of it because I don't have the old edition anymore. So
All right. Well, I'll let you take it.
When
Yeah.
is Say Uncle coming out?
It comes out in May.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Why?
I know it's all
Like,
nice.
I'm excited for Say Uncle, and I remember like we were saying like, oh, Daddy's Boy and Say Uncle might come out around the same time, but originally both were going to come out in March, and now Daddy's Boy is coming out in May too. I don't know.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I just felt like, the Say Uncle Daddy's Boy party is back
have
on.
Have I sent you the book yet? I forget.
You haven't? No.
I'll send it tonight.
I'm so ready for it. Yeah.
It's really great. We did a lot of edits on that. I just went back and filled in various things, and it's so tight right now. What a crazy thing to say on a podcast. It's really tight. It's not loose at all. It's just really good, man. I think you specifically, Michael, you're gonna love it. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's it has that coming of age, like something from my past has like shaped me into this jail human being type of thing that I think you kind of dig.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
I want to read it just because of the Hellraiser stuff.
I'm so excited. So I came up with the comparison of Uncle Buck meets Hellraiser. And then recently, when we were doing the back cover, I was like, we should come up with a tagline somehow. What would be a good tagline? And then I was like, well, wait, what's the tagline on Uncle Buck? And what's the tagline on Hellraiser? And they merge so perfectly together. It's he's crude, he's crass, he's family, and he'll rip your soul apart. It's perfect.
That's the shit. I love it. That's fucking great.
For anyone listening, basically the premise is it's 2005. The main character is like 12 or something. His uncle comes to live with them after something goes wrong in the uncle's marriage. And the uncle's like this shitty pickup eldest type of guy. He has lots of misogynistic opinions on women.
He's frank.
He decides he's going to help his nephew get a date. He begins like teaching him his tricks. Meanwhile, the kid finds this old occult spell book in the uncle's belongings, and I won't say what happens from that, but things spiral drastically out of control at the discovery of this book. It's really good.
Is this a novel or novella?
It's a novel.
I mean, I was going to read it either way.
I thought you were going to say, don't send it to me then.
No, I very much want
He's
that
only
book.
reading novellas now.
No.
I do love a novel. I just read a great novel, a long one called Wolf at the Table by Adam Rapp. I don't know if you guys, it's like 600 pages, but you can't beat a long, really good novel, I think.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
It's basically the way it was promoted was like if Jonathan Franzen had written We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Okay, that's a very interesting promotion.
It's this long, epic family drama that takes place over various decades. But when one of the members of the family is like a sociopath, basically. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm up for that one too. Was that out recently?
Yeah, it came out I think last year.
Okay.
I discovered it after Daniel Krauss was talking it up, and him and I usually have similar tastes in movies and books. So the way he was talking about it, I knew I had to pick it up, and I read it like in 3 days. I couldn't get enough of it. And I usually don't read that much anymore just because I'm reading other stuff that doesn't really count as like, a Goodreads reading or whatever. I'm reading stuff I'm rejecting. I'm reading stuff I'm editing. I'm reading my own shit sometimes when I want to pleasure myself.
It's fair enough. Do you post stuff to Goodreads now? I tend
No.
not to really review or rate anything on Goodreads because, you know, I don't want with having This Is Horror as a platform, and this sounds so pretentious and like I'm a right dickhead, which maybe I am, but like I wouldn't want to shit over someone's book that I didn't particularly enjoy. And, you know, it's just fucking subjective. Like, I don't want people to take my opinion and think it has any weight to it. It's just what I thought.
I don't use Goodreads anymore. I have an account with StreelyGraph, but I'm not great with keeping up to date with it. I do like I'll use it to log a book, but that's about it, just so I can keep track of what I've been reading. But yeah, I'm not really that interested in like the Goodreads aspect of everything. Especially, it's odd, like reviewing a book written by someone who you know is going to see that review, and then you might see them like at a convention. It's just really strange.
Yeah, this is why I moved away a lot from reviewing when I started writing more seriously. It just felt like a conflict of interest.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say that's why you moved to Japan, so you wouldn't see anyone at conventions.
Yeah. That would be an extreme reason. It's like,
I wouldn't believe it. I would have to say you were lying.
Yeah, well, that's not why I moved to Japan anyway. Did
I just dox you? People know you live in Japan, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't say it every week. I'm not like, you know, I live in Japan, just in case.
When are you going to change that website name? It's so misleading.
You mean .co.uk?
Yeah, it's not right.
It's not right. Yeah, it does. To be fair, it does confuse people quite a lot because it's like our biggest audience is by far in America, and I'm living in Japan, and it's .co.uk.
It's so confusing. I love it.
I mean, we own thisishorror.com.
Yeah.
So
that's a funny story.
Is it?
Yeah, you remember how you got it? You don't remember. Some rando emailed me.
Oh, yeah.
And I forwarded the email to Michael, and he was like, "Hey, you can get this. Basically, I'll sell you this website." And so I emailed it to Michael, and Michael emailed me back, said, "You know, if you're gonna hold a website ransom, you might want to fucking own the domain." And he goes, "I own it now." So I was like, the guy didn't even have the domain.
Yeah. So people will find domains that are available, try to sell it to people who they think, oh, you would want that one. When I started This Is Horror, thisishorror.com was not available. And then what was this, like 5-6 years later, they email Bob. They're like, oh, you can buy it for, I don't know, like $1,000. And I'm like, what? No, I'm not going to do that. That does not seem like a good investment. Let me just check some things out. Oh, holy shit, it's available now for $10. There you go. Mine now.
That reminds me, a while back, this deranged person who kind of came after me on the internet. He did not like me whatsoever. He began making fake social media profiles, like saying how I should die, and like on the bio of his social media profile on the website, he just wrote like fuckmaxbooth.com. So I went and I bought that, and that's now my website name. So he was just like promoting my website. I found that extremely funny, and I've kept that website name since. That's the one I usually just give out.
You've not only kept it, but I think haven't you embraced it? Isn't that at least one of your social media profile usernames now? You've really gone hard with that.
It's my Blue Sky name, and that's really the only social media I have, like as an author. I have an Instagram one, but I mean it's a Ghoulish Instagram. I'm on Threads, but it's also a Ghoulish Threads. and I'm not even really on Facebook that much now. I have an account, but I don't. It's on friends only at this point, and it's going to stay that way. I mostly use it because Facebook events are really like useful, especially with the bookshop and like the book fests. You can really get some traction promoting events on Facebook, but that's the only use Facebook has. And right now, because you're not on Facebook, Michael, the thing going on is the reason why I've had to go to friends only, I'm going to say that way, is Facebook is being plagued by these impersonation bots that flood your comments. Well, they've made profiles mimicking your profile, and they tag everyone else who has commented on a thread with a phishing link. And like you repelled it to Facebook, and instantaneously you get a response saying, "No, this looks fine. We're not going to do anything about this." And it's intentional because Facebook wants you to cave and spend the monthly fee for verification. That just happened with Philip Fracazzi. He posted this long thing how he had no choice but to do the monthly fee because it was just nonstop impersonation bots. Well, I'm not going to pay any fee to Facebook, so I've just locked everything down, and I've deleted most of the friends I had on it as well if I didn't actually know them. And now it's just strictly like a fairly small thing. Though I just use it to see people I actually know and promote events. It's the only I can't promote anything publicly at this point. Well, the moment anything is public, impersonation bot floods the comments. It's pathetic. The internet used to be so cool, I think, and now it's just this pathetic, embarrassing waste of time that plagues my thoughts.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Facebook had a paid option. I guess that Mark Zuckerberg saw what Elon Musk was doing and decided he wanted to get in on that action because apparently neither of them had enough money. We better monetize it and make a few more bucks.
I just want to remind you, I'm not interested in getting political, but if you want to talk about it, you can. This is your podcast.
But I mean, in terms of social media, yeah, it's a weird time at the moment. I mean, Twitter, technically, we have the most followers, but when I post stuff on there these days, it gets the least engagement.
Yeah.
Blue Sky,
it's
that's
good.
the place. Like Threads, we have the least followers, and Threads is really random. Like sometimes a post will do really well, and then sometimes it will get no engagement, and there seems to be not much method to which will happen.
We deleted all the Ghoulish and my personal X accounts because despite having huge followings on all the accounts, just zero engagement. It just stopped. And plus, it just felt like almost embarrassing to even have an account anymore, just with everything. I don't want to get into it, but with everything going on. It just, anytime I looked at it, I just felt like, man, I shouldn't be on this. So we just deleted everything and focused on Blue Sky Mill, and we get so much traction. It's like how Twitter used to be. I do like that. Threads is baffling to me. Every time I log on to that, everybody is fighting about something that I cannot figure out what the source of the drama is. Like, I just do not understand what the fuck anybody is talking about on Threads, and I guess don't give a shit about spending the time to find out. But there's always like a huge thread of like people defending a response to something else that something pissed someone else off on, and I don't know what the fuck anyone's talking about.
I spent half a day on Threads trying to find the source of someone's, I guess, of the discourse that I was seeing, and I could not find it. And it pissed me off so bad that I removed Threads. I was on my desktop. I removed it from my top little thing where I can just click on it. I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And then like a couple of days later, I just nuked the account. I was like, you know what? This thing it's a mess. You can't find anything on there.
Also, every time I came on the app on the like Fill You page, because it always does that, right? Instead of the Follow
Right.
Rules tab, it was nothing but the most transphobic, evil shit. It was just every time I logged onto it, I'm like, why are you showing me this? I don't want to see this. It's awful. So we still have the account, but basically, I just have it auto posting from the Ghoulish Instagram. So, like, if we post something on Instagram, it just goes to threads.
Sounds like a very ironic for you tab. It's like hate
Yeah.
for you. Let's find something which is literally hatred directed for you, and
Yeah.
we'll give it you. Not to get political.
Please respect my boundaries.
I'm sorry. Well, something we can talk about, and I'm not sure if we've even mentioned I believe in Mr. Bones in this second part, but we're going to mention it because I want to talk about fruit pies. Where did this facet of the book come from?
I forgot this was a second episode.
Yeah.
Completely forgot, like in this moment until right now, that this is technically a completely different episode. Fruit pies. I'm so glad you brought this up. This is my favorite chapter of the book, probably. Okay, so Mr. Bones is a book about a small press. They receive an unsolicited submission called I Believe in Mr. Bones. It's about an entity that when you summon him, he begins stealing little bones, like one night at a time as you sleep, and replacing them with an unknown substance. In my novel, one of the people who received the submission, his name is Daniel, he believes he has summoned this entity and that every night he wakes up to a new bone missing. He is convinced this is happening. That's a good chunk of the book. It's this spiral of, am I losing my mind? Or am I actually cursed by a spooky skeleton? And I knew at some point the reader would be like, why is this guy not going to see a medical professional? It would be distracting if he didn't at least try to see somebody. So I thought, I'm someone who doesn't have health insurance. I can't just go see a doctor without it being a whole fucking thing. And so obviously they don't. I wanted to mimic that same thing for my own reality. And I recall a while ago, my wife needed to go see a doctor about something she had going on. I can't even recall what it was. But we found this guy in San Antonio, like way off the beaten path. He was a licensed professional. He had his own clinic. But on Sundays, he did this pro bono thing. Well, if he came in, he got in line and put your name in, and if there was time, he would see you for free, and so forth. I also recall the whole land being like fucking overrun by chickens. I don't know if he owned these chickens, but there was chickens all over the place. Because I recall when we went to leave, like chickens trying to get into the front seat with us. We had to like fight them away. It was pretty cool. So I have this as the basic idea of what's going to happen in the book, is they should go see a doctor like this. The fruit pie stuff, I don't even know how to explain how it goes in the book. I have this thing when I write about doctors. You'll see this in my novel Maggots Screaming. Well, my instinct is to make them as absolutely unhinged as possible, because that is just really funny to me, a crazy doctor. So I immediately knew this guy would be pretty kooky. I don't know exactly how I settled on fruit pies being like the big thing with this doctor. So basically, he has this clinic in his house, but also his sister makes and sells fruit pies, and it's hinted at that the whole reason that Doctell's doing this pro bono thing in the book is to promote his sister's fruit pie business. I don't know where this came from other than the phrase fruit pie. It's just really funny to me, and I don't know why. I think I added it as a small detail, like, oh yeah, and we also sell fruit pies if you're interested. But then I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I think what really sold it for me as a good joke was throughout this whole inspection he's doing with Daniel is he has this clipboard where he's writing on. And it just occurred to me how funny it would be if they saw that clipboard at the end and all it was him drawing a giant pie and brainstorming fruit ideas to put into it. It's difficult to explain, I guess, why that's so funny, but I think it is in the scene itself. I should also say this chapter I kind of went crazy with. This was not meant to be a long chapter. It ended up being the longest chapter in the book. It's 8,000 words long. I spent 2 weeks writing this thing, and I usually when I write something, especially with this book, I'll talk about it with my friend Betty, whose birthday is today. She is open full commissions, BettyRocksteady.com. I usually talk about what I'm writing. I spoil everything. Because she's a good sounding build. And it was crazy. It was funny because 2 weeks went by and I was like, I'm still writing this fucking fruit pie chapter, Betty. I don't know why I can't end it. I'm just obsessed with this scene going on and on and on. And I love how it came out. It's really deranged and I think unexpected. It doesn't have much to do with the rest of the book. And I understand that if you took out that whole chapter, nothing would change with the story whatsoever. But to me, that this is a really good piece of evidence of cutting everything that doesn't benefit the plot is a bullshit piece of advice, because it's not always about the plot. It's about the vibe, the type of vibe you want to give to the book that the readers take away. And I want my books to feel strange and unexpected and funny and sad and just unhinged. And to suddenly come across an 8,000 word chapter about a doctor just fucking trying to sell fruit pies to his patients, that's why I do anything. I think that's the reason. It's that's what I'm trying to achieve, is something like that. It reminds me almost of, this isn't quite the same, but I feel like it has the same intensity almost. I don't know if you guys have seen Under the Silver Lake, the movie by the guy who made It Follows, David Mitchell. I forget
Yes,
his name.
David
I
Mitchell.
haven't seen it. I want to see it, but I haven't seen it.
Really good movie.
I'll say briefly, there's a scene where someone talks to someone behind the piano. That's one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a movie. And it's so isolated and unexpected and strange and scary and funny. Those little types of scenes, I think, make something unforgettable.
Yeah, this fruit pie chapter, I think is my favorite in the entire book, and people who know my sense of humor will not be surprised by that at all. But it almost reminded me of a joke from I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson, or from The Greasy Strangler, where
I love
just
both
the
of those.
more it was repeated, the funnier it got. And it was almost like the repetition and the absurdity. And I was losing my mind every time I read a reference to fruit pies. And I did wonder, are you foreshadowing? Well, I guess this is a mild spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler because you've already said that it could be removed. But I wondered, are you foreshadowing something, or the doctor's going to come back later, or he's the mastermind behind Mr. Bones? No, no, but I fucking loved it. If you'd have removed it, then whilst the story would be intact, you would have removed just just that love for that scene, that is justification enough to keep it in.
And plus, I do think the audience, a certain segment of the readers would have been like, why did he never go see anyone to try to get treatment? It's a thing that needs to be present in some way, I think. And why not have fun with it if I'm going to add that section? I also think it feels like a huge... If we want to sound smart for a second and pretend like I intended something, which I did not, but how many times have you like had an opportunity to benefit yourself, like health-wise or otherwise, and you try to take advantage of it, and it turns out to just be someone trying to sell you something? That's kind of what's going on with this.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Kathy Koja's Bad Brains, where you have, I'm not definitely not going to spoil anything, but when you finally get to the doctor, that particular scene, which happens at the end of the book, probably didn't need to be in there, but it's so unhinged and goes the exact opposite way that you expect it to go. But at the same time, it's like it's very unpredictable, but yet logical. And so when you have this iconic scene, it's all about vibe. It is 100% about vibe. And it's like, you see all these rules, and none of that shit fucking matters, man. It doesn't matter. It's like you got to come out with your story and just do what you got to do, and put it out. And obviously you don't want to take a tangent that's going to like derail the story, or it's like, this has absolutely nothing to do. But if you got the vibe, then don't worry about it. Put it in there. Take me on a little side trip. I'm all for it.
Especially with the first half of the book, but there's no like fast pace. Okay, this is what the story is. It's kind of a series of vignettes. I don't think I've ever said that out loud. Vignettes leading to a book fest. It's just scenes from a life, basically. So I think it does look pretty good with the flow of things as well, that we now have, okay, and now this is the time when they go and try to get medical treatment, compared to like the second half of the book, which is a really fast-paced A to B story.
And another bit I gotta mention, which would be a spoiler if we gave any context: fugue steaks. Where did that come from?
Yeah, do you guys listen to Aesop Rock?
I have listened to Aesop Rock.
He's one of my favorite musicians. I listen to him a lot. I forget what song it is, but in it, he says something how I was in a fugue state. But Aesop Rock is someone who raps about food a lot, and I misheard him, and I thought he said fugue steak. And I thought that's so funny. I love that. And then I realized I was wrong. He said fugue state. But I just couldn't get fugue steaks out of my mind. And at the time, I was desperately trying to come up with a name for the thing that it became named off of. The, I'm not going to say it, but in Mr. Bones, there's something called fugue steaks. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what that name would be for that specific thing, and nothing felt right. Everything felt like fake or forced or just generic. But then that came to mind, and it felt so odd and just like lived in almost. Like you could tell this meant something to somebody.
It was incredible too, because, and maybe I'm going to use the term payoff generously here, but it felt like there's a payoff for this submission being from August Skeef, which is the most ridiculous name that I've heard. And I loved how indulgent you went with fugue steaks, because there was a lot, towards the end of that book.
Yeah. I yeah, I don't know if we want to talk about it or not. I mean, we can. I have no issues with spoiling things, but if you want to do a ruling, we can, or we can just skip over it. Up to you.
Yeah, here's the warning. I don't even know what you're about to do. Do you want to be specific with the warning?
I thought you wanted to say something
Oh,
about it.
well, I mean, I kind of did just say it, just that you
Okay.
were really indulgent with, the fugue steak stuff.
I love. I mean, Fugue States is a internet message board that doesn't exist now in the setting of Mystical Bones, but it existed when I was on message build, specifically like the crack.com message build, the pointless waste of time message build. And I spent a lot of my teenage years just like lilking those and reading threads after threads, archived threads of like the craziest shit you can imagine. Some of the funniest people I've ever like seen post anything. Yeah, I just really wanted to recreate that so bad, and yeah, that was my attempt to do that.
It was absolutely masterful. And I mean, we said before about it kind of being your it's almost your purest Max Booth book, in the sense that you've got the horror and you've got the comedy right down the middle. Has the reader reception generally been positive? Have you got anyone who's been kind of angry that it wasn't horror enough, or angry it wasn't comedy enough, or angry that they thought you were satirizing them, which, there is a warning at the end as well, these fictitious characters?
It's been pretty positive. People appreciate the comedy. That seems to be, people point out that it's pretty creepy with the concept of it. They love the halfway point incident that happens. They find it really unexpected, and they find that exciting, and they find it pretty funny. So I mean, everything I was going through, people seem to like. It's not getting like a ton of reviews, so if anyone listening to this wants to read it and then review it, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I haven't seen too many negative things about it yet. I'm sure it's definitely a book designed to be hated by a certain type of reader, and that's okay. Haven't seen any backlash from the stuff that you mentioned with the satirical aspects of small press publishing. I don't think I will, but maybe.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll get the backlash next decade when you do your 10-year kind of let's take the piss out of small press book.
I definitely haven't like clashed with anyone. I mean, I don't know if anyone's really like given too much of a keen eye to it all. It's like the final details, but like it's been pretty smooth.
All right. Well, on that note, it's about time to wrap up. So I'm wondering, what is next for you?
Writing wise, I don't know. I have abnormal statistics coming out in Spanish sometime this year. I'm writing a play that's going to be produced in Austin, so that's fun. I can't say what local theater troupe is doing it, but because they haven't announced it yet, but it's going to be pretty exciting. I've been to shows they've done, and it's really cool. I've always been fascinated by live theater, and really excited to see this happen. Book wise, nothing on the schedule. Just little shopping, carnivorous theater activities still, and my agent is waiting on me to finish some other things.
All right. Do you have any final thoughts for our listeners and viewers?
Yes, please buy my book, read it, and break a bone on video and post it. I'm encouraging all of you guys to record yourself breaking a bone and then somehow promote my book with that content. Please do this.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to This Is Horror Podcast. If you enjoy the show and want to support us, then please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/thisishorror. You'll get early bird access to each and every episode, and you can submit questions to the interviewee. You'll also automatically become a member of the This Is Horror Discord. And every year, there are bonus episodes for patrons only, such as Story Unboxed, the horror podcast on the craft of writing, in which Bob and I, and sometimes a special guest, will dissect a short story or film and let you know writing lessons and takeaways to improve your own writing. Another great way to support us is to leave us a review on the Apple Podcast app or website. And if you want to watch the video version of the This Is Horror podcast, join us on YouTube, youtube.com/@thisishorrorpodcast. You can subscribe there and get notified every time there is a new video. And however you support us, I thank you in advance. Okay, before I wrap up, a quick advert break.
From the host of This Is Horror Podcast comes a dark thriller of obsession, paranoia, and voyeurism. After relocating to a small coastal town, Brian discovers a hole that gazes into his neighbor's bedroom. Every night she dances and he peeps. Same song, same time, same wild and mesmerizing dance. But soon Brian suspects he's not the only one watching, and she's not the only one being watched. Their watching is The Wicker Man meets Body Double with a splash of Suspiria. They're Watching by Michael David Wilson and Bob Pastorella is available from thisishorror.co.uk, Amazon, and wherever good books are sold.
It was as if the video had unzipped my skin, slunk inside my tapered flesh, and become one with me.
From the creator of This Is Horror comes a new nightmare for the digital age, The Girl in the Video by Michael David Wilson. After a teacher receives a weirdly arousing video, his life descends into paranoia and obsession. More videos follow, each containing information no stranger could possibly know. But who's sending them, and what do they want? The answers may destroy everything and everyone he loves. The Girl in the Video is The Ring meets Fatal Attraction for the iPhone generation. Available now in paperback, ebook, and audio.
Well, thank you again for listening to This Is Horror. We always appreciate your support. Do buy the new Max Booth book, I Believe in Mr. Bones. One of the best novels that came out in 2024. And another novel that I would like you to buy is absolutely shameless, this segue. It's my forthcoming novel, Daddy's Boy, which you can add to your Goodreads today. It is out on May 6th, and it has received wonderful blurbs from the likes of Jason Pargin, Max Booth III, who just spoke to, Brian Asman, Danger Slater, David Moody, Eric LaRocca, and many others. I really want you to check it out. It's the most fun I've had writing, and I think it's safe to say it is the most comedic book that I have ever written. In fact, Max Booth had this to say about it. Delightfully deranged and bursting with pure British humour, Daddy's Boy is an addicting sprint of twists and turns you'll never see coming. Contains one of the most emotionally significant dick pic scenes captured in literature. Read it. So there you go. Max Booth III said read it. So why shouldn't you, quite frankly? Next time on This Is Horror, we will be chatting to Clay McLeod Chapman. But until then, take care of yourselves, be good to one another, read horror, keep on writing, and have a great, great day.
This is Horror Podcast.